How's this? It's mind-bending. It's going to be one of those things that you wait until the end and you're like, hey, I already knew that.
A better you starts today.
Yeah, no, but it's pretty cool. It is. You know how present is really good according to most people and no one has it and everyone's like, yeah, totally, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I've been present before. At Christmas time, Stitch! But then also I think they're not referring to presents normally. They're talking about just being there in the moment. Ooh, double entendre. But that's something that you should be working on. Here's why you should be working on it. Because, how's this? People that are more present stay in relationships longer. Now, that is not surprising at all. Here's why. What's with this shitty dot point presentation that's happening in this video? But, yeah, here's why. That's the point that we're on. Point number 3. Point number 3 is the reason that you are in a relationship longer when you are present is purely, this is the interesting part that they came down to, it's just that you're able to read the other person's expressions a lot better. You know, you're just less autistic. In fact, I think maybe having no expertise in autism whatsoever, don't you think that maybe a big part of it might be just the fact that they are always thinking about trains and so they do not have time to look at people's faces? Whereas, you know, when you see someone that's kind of simple, a lot of simple people are very socially intelligent. I think it's just because they're looking at someone's face going, they're being like, and then their little brains are firing off and going. Because that's what happens when you're present. It's the same thing when like monkeys just interact with each other and they see an angry monkey being like, and then they start going like, it's infectious. Whatever emotions are around you are infectious. So when you are in a relationship, you can tell very quickly, this one's sad, this one's angry. You can tell very quickly. And as such, you are able to respond. You are also able to sit there, and this is the other thing, instead of just having a pre-programmed response, where you're actually listening to the person, you can respond to them in a way that is alleviating to the situation, as opposed to just thinking like, what's something that I've read in a book before? Let's try this one. Shut the fuck up, you stupid whore. Hey, she's angry still. So yeah, that's how it works. How it works is pretty much that you have just clean slated your mind so that you are really experiencing reality for what it is. And as a result, you are able to deal with reality as opposed to the little dream state that everyone has in their head from all the... I don't know what you do. What do you do? What do people do these days? Rap with me here. Rap. That's it. Yeah, you're just listening to rap all day and so you sit there and you're just like, hey, I'm not related to Jay-Z. I mean, I'm not related to him either, but like I thought I was in a relationship with him because of how much Jay-Z I listen to. This is getting very abstract, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like a lot of the things that are happening in your life are just downloaded in there, and then it's just like someone in your mind will be like, that's reality, trust me. And so then you just walk around being like, yeah, everyone thinks about us as much as Big Sean does, for sure. And they do, let's be honest. But then you go through life, and you have all of these things in the way of your head. And because they're in the way that you're thinking about things, you are not able to respond correctly to the situation. This is why getting in the practice of being more present around your partner equals longer relationships. The reason that relationships are shortening, apparently, according to a big portion of this study, is the fact that people just aren't present anymore because it's fucking impossible in the modern age of being present. Because all the little ding-dong bells and whistles being like, ding-dong, ding-dong, boop, 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 boop. And so, as a result of that, things just keep getting shorter and shorter because you are not really experiencing a relationship, are you? Isn't that a scary thought to think about? That when you are with someone these days, you're not really with them anymore, are you? You're kind of just reciting things that you saw in the back of your mind somewhere else. And so when that person is in front of you, it's kind of just this thing of like, hey, you're not that. Fuck you for no reason. That's what's happening. So how do we get more present? You should know this before we even continue on. It's an interesting side note. Buddhists apparently, are better at reading facial expressions than people that have been trained to do it in Scotland Yard. Why? Because the people in Scotland Yard are still doing the whole like, okay, if they look down, then they're probably telling a porky. Unless they're looking down and to the right. Did he look down and to the right? Yeah, I'll just say he's doing a porky. Buddhists are better at reading people than them. Buddhists afterwards can be like, he is lying. And that's okay. We are all on our own path, and maybe he's right. Who knows? And it's because they're just present. They're there. They can see what's happening. So how do we get there? Well, I'll tell you that the main one that really, really, really works when you're around people is just because you can do this when you're there. I'm doing it right now, and automatically I feel more present. And you don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm just wiggling my big toe. Just like a Kill Bill. Yeah, that's all you do. You just start wiggling your toes around. It's an old actor's trick. It immediately centers you to the moment. I don't know why. Don't ask me how. It just does. I think it's just because there's something about like sensations that you start noticing in your body helps with that. Second thing, always write this one down. If you don't know this question, you really should get acquainted with it. It's incredible. What is my relationship to the present moment? If your relationship to the present moment is kind of like, then you're not going to be doing well. So like, if you want your relationship to work, your relationship to the present moment comes first. Think about that. Isn't that profound? Write that shit down. If you want your relationship to work, just remember your relationship to the present moment comes first. What do you think about that? Isn't it great to know that one of the easiest, simplest ways to improve the chances of your relationship working is to really just sit there and go like, and stare at your partner while they go like, man, what is that? Stop looking at me! And then you go, okay, I can do that. Because you are of present mind. So you don't have all of these little preambles of just like, she's going to do it again. Oh my God, she did it again! So yeah, make sure that you remember that. It's a very interesting little piece of relationship psychology that I can't believe that I've never talked about on this channel before, which is that, like, dude, being present is not just helpful in terms of like your mental health. It's also just good in terms of your relationship health, massively. Now, the thing that I'm always talking about as well is like doing these little mini meditations throughout the day. All we're talking about is just a little. That's it. Do it now. Do it right now. Do one of these. Just go with me. Right, ready? Just go. Don't you feel just a little bit more present just from that? You can do little tricks like that throughout the day that just center you more to the moment. Because every time you do that, you are just reminding yourself that me feeling that baseline calm is one breath away. Just one. Anyway, if you like that, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks. If you sign up to Jordan Shanks, I'll be giving you more invaluable advice, such as, did you know that breathing is good? But the thing is, you do know it, you just don't implement it. That is the reason that you should have a life coach. Because a life coach, it doesn't matter if it's me, but I'm the cheapest one and the best one. And so, you're just getting the best of both worlds, aren't you? But, they do that. They just keep reminding you of these basic little things. If your relationship is going south, just do a little more of the whole, like, staring them down. In a very intimidating, menacing way. I highly recommend that. But a lot of it is because you have all of these pre-programmed things in your mind that just need to be apparated, and you just need to be with that person, the actual person in front of you. The way that you do that is by getting more present around them. What's my relationship to the present moment? Wiggling your toes. Just a few deeper breaths when you're around them will do wonders to your relationship. Make them feel like it's kind of just like, oh, a calming presence. Maybe I can just like, just like in your imagination when you just see a unicorn drinking out of a lake and you think like, maybe I should ride it. No, just me and Britney Spears. Well, she had good taste. So make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks for 3 extra videos a week. If you do not do it, you're a fucking moron. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's just, you are not going to get a life coach that is that cheap, and they give you far better results. Far better results than you will ever get by yourself, because it's just having a coach being like, dickhead, you need to go and do something toward your goals today. And you're like, fuck, he's right. You need those little reminders. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for signing up and subscribing, by the way. I noticed that 40% of you are not, so make sure that you do that. And I will see you next time with this advice that, you should just jam this up your nose, because then you can touch your brain, see what that feels like.